Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by AndyMark. Are you competition ready? Go to andymark.com and keep your team inspired. And by the Blue Alliance. Keep up to date on all live and archived First Robotics events and team stats at thebluealliance.com. First Updates Now is brought to you by viewers like you. Fun relies on the generous support of our fans in order to continue to keep creating content. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing. Subscribe for a few bucks a month or for free through Twitch Prime. And don't forget that our subscribers get 5x chance to win on all giveaways. Coming up on First Updates Now, Week 4 events are complete. We'll have the drive coach here from 97 The High Rollers. We have an awesome recap coming in from the Colorado Regional, and we'll hear about the top 25 teams as voted by nearly 450 voters, guys. It keeps going up and up and up. Holy crap. We'll talk about the snub of the week, and we'll answer your questions and comments in chat live. Reporting for First Updates Now, I'm Tyler Rolds.
And I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Justin Montoys.
And I'm Christina Tia.
Christine, great to have you back again. What do we got going on today?
I'm going to be drawing one of my favorite robots to ever come compete in Boston, and that was Team 341 in 2012. They came to the Boston Regional and absolutely dominated.
It was an awesome robot.
Who doesn't love Miss Daisy?
I know, right?
Very good. And I also want to introduce our guest for this evening. Stephen McKinney is a drive coach for 97 High Rollers, coming off a big win this weekend at the Las Vegas Regional. Stephen was a student at 987. He's a beard enthusiast. He's been involved in the first for over 10 years, and now in his second season as drive coach. Thanks a lot for coming on the show, bud.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Steven, it's going to be a great show. Thanks again, man. So we have a fantastic giveaway tonight, courtesy of FRC 1720, the Fixed Gears, or the creators of the Bat Hawk. One winner near the end of the show will receive a 4-pack of these awesome devices that instantly let you know if your battery has a voltage for your next match. To win, make sure you follow us to subscribe and type in the specific keyword when we prompt you to. Don't forget that subscribers get 5 times luck on the drawings, and you can subscribe for free through Prime or for just a few bucks a month. If you're watching on TBA Game Day, make sure you come to our channel to subscribe or give bits. And if you're not watching live, you can still subscribe to Support Fund, or we welcome donations as well. We need your help to continue making great content, and thank you to those who've been willing to step up and let us know that you appreciate our content.
And I also forgot to put in here that Christine will also be giving away her original artwork drawing that she's doing on there. So we'll show that a little bit later as it gets closer to being complete, but make sure you guys go check out Wordplay All Day. There, Christine, you're seeing stuff everywhere now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I just got like 4 orders between the time I fell asleep last night and then waking up this morning. So it's pretty insane to see people who have just like kind of popped on without, much advertising on my end at this point because I'm so busy. But it's been really cool, and I really appreciate all the support from the First Updates Now family and network. So if you win tonight's drawing, I may sneak in a new sticker that I just put out yesterday.
Bam, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Nice.
All right. Well, Stephen, you and I had a great time hanging out at the Las Vegas Regional this past week. I just got in from a red eye this morning, guys. So I'm running on fumes and a lot of caffeine, so I'm feeling good. We had a special dinner date, by the way, at McMullen's. We talked about your history on 987. If you guys, McMullen's, by the way, that place was a bomb, by the way.
Sick invite.
Yeah,
my favorite Irish pub.
Dude, a great Irish pub with awesome music going on. So, but 987, you are a student, teacher, counselor, mentor, coach. I mean, you got a nice resume going on here. Could you give us just a couple minutes, kind of your involvement in 987, both as a student and going in as a mentor as well?
Yeah, sure. So I was kind of late to the game. I missed our inaugural season. I was in high school when the team started, but I blame our early team for not advertising as well, so that I couldn't get involved. But I joined the second year. I loved it. Obviously, it made a big impact on me, and I've been involved since. I was sitting down with my wife today trying to figure out how many years I've been doing this. So I've been affiliated with Team 97 basically for 16 years. This is my 16th season. So I got started in 2003. In 2004, I was the driver for Team 97, and then I went off to college 2005 to 2009, I believe, and then came back. I actually got a teaching position at the high school at Cimarron. The Team 97 operates out of Cimarron Memorial High School in Las Vegas, and just been going hardcore ever since. This is actually my second year as drive coach. I started drive coaching last year. and I love it.
Steven, what's your position at the school?
I'm actually a counselor right now. So I
Okay.
started off as a math teacher. I taught math for 7 years, and this is my 3rd year as a counselor. So, yeah, that's my position at the high school. And then, of course, after school, I work with Team 97. So
Perfect. So, yet another year, 97, just another impressive robot. But one aspect that I personally look forward to seeing, and we kind of all do, is just kind of the vision that 97 uses. So what was your reaction to when you realized that vision kind of might not be too prevalent this year? And did you guys end up finding a way to kind of incorporate vision into your robot?
yeah, we were kind of bummed that vision wasn't as big a deal, I guess, as it has been in years past. But we were optimistic, though. Still, a couple of people involved with our team, Greg and Brandon Jelstrom, a mentor and former student on our team, developed a limelight this year, so we had to use it. You know what I mean? And by the second or third day, they had it tracking cubes, so we were pretty optimistic. And we have multiple auto modes that go to the scale and use the limelight to track cubes, and it works pretty well. I've got some examples of where we've missed a cube, it fell out of our claw halfway to the scale, and then we've gone back and grabbed it, kind of like that video from last week where Madtown, I think it was, picked up a cube from somebody that chucked it across the field. So that was that's a result of using vision processing, and that's kind of the same thing that we've got.
When do we get some of those to give away on our show?
Some limelights? I will have to talk to Brandon and Greg and see what's up. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You could just send one with my hoodie too. No, I'm just kidding. So your first event was Arizona North, which had just a legendary lineup of teams. So you guys were unfortunately knocked out in the semifinals, but talk a little bit about how you guys kind of rebounded and prepared yourself to compete in Las Vegas.
We did get knocked out in the semis. I mean, we had some bad luck, but we made a good amount of our own bad luck at that regional, and what definitely wasn't the start that we wanted to. So we had a big team meeting because, I mean, that was kind of our worst performance that we've had in a while, at least in quals. We understand, when it came to alliance selection, we're kind of at the mercy who's going to pick us, and we don't know who's going to want to pick us at this point because we weren't performing to our standards that we like to perform at. So we had a big team meeting. We talked about the kind of things that we could do to improve our success, and pretty much we were there every single day from the day that we got back to Vegas until the day that we went to go set up for the Las Vegas Regional, and we set up a mock pit. A lot of our issues were mechanical issues. They're just not checking a screw or a nut or a bolt. If you go back and watch some of those Arizona matches, you'll see one of our belts just flew off during the middle of a match. Our climber broke during the middle of a match. So just unacceptable things. So we set up a little basically fake pit over in the corner of our shop, and we would put the robot out there, run a few practice matches, and every 3 matches we'd take it back to the pit, you know what I mean, and have the students run a full systems check on it, just like we would do a competition. It was super effective because it was muscle memory. By the time they got to the actual competition, it was pretty much just a repeat of all the stuff that we had been doing in our shop. So that helped out a lot for sure.
So, Steven, let's jump forward to the Las Vegas Regional. Just happened this past weekend at the Thomas & Mack Center. Beautiful arena, by the way. And I want to go through, feel free to talk about your quals if you want, but a big area I want to talk to you about is alliance selection. And without going too much into some things that are privy about being an MC on the field, I will admit, if you watch the alliance selection, I was quite shocked because in the beginning, you had the Warlords 2485, who had a great robot, seed first. And they selected 842, who was the number third seeded robot. They declined, and 2045 picked up the number 2 seed, 3255, and then 842 picked you, and then proceeded to pick 3965, which is crazy because that's the exact same alliance that you won the 2016 regional with. So, I mean, there had to be something with that. They did have a good robot. Don't get me wrong, but come on, there had to be a little bit that happened that you already won with these guys, right? So give us just your reaction to the alliance selection, and then kind of take us through the event as well.
Yeah, totally. So alliance selections were definitely crazy. I mean, we went and talked to 842 after that, and I think 842 is probably the only team that knew that they were going to decline 2485, who definitely earned that first seed. They have an awesome robot, and from what I can tell, improved a ton from their first event. So they are killing it right now and are going to be good at champs. But 842 declined 2485, and it was really just one of those examples of you never know what's going to happen at Alliance selection, because like I was over talking to the second seed, the Super Nerds 3255. I was like, okay, I already know that the Warlords are picking 842, and I was like, so what are we planning on doing here? And then a couple seconds later, I'm back in the pits, not on the field, but I hear that you hear the crowd's reaction to 842 declining 2485, and I was like, oh well, hold that thought. I have to step away here for a second.
But then you would have thought they would have picked you based on seeding, even low. I mean, not even if you two had equal robots. I actually was really surprised that Warlords didn't pick you guys, because then that would have broken up any potential of you and Falcon, or Super Nerds would not be able to go with Falcon as well.
Right. I mean, they must have seen something in the Super Nerds that thought they could fill a void or something on the Alliance that they had planned. I mean, in fairness, maybe we couldn't have filled that void. I don't know what the thinking was behind it. I haven't had a chance to talk to them, but ultimately they did decide on the Super Nerds over us, and then 842 picked us up along the way. I said it was super gutsy move by 842 to decline from that third spot, because if the Warlords, I mean, there was plenty of good robots there, as evidenced by the number of upsets going through the eliminations bracket, but from the third spot, it's like, okay, you don't really know who you're going to get at that point. So, but they obviously, had designs on what they were going to do. So it was cool. And then picking up the Sultans on the way around. I know that, you read a lot into it and you're like, oh, well, it's the exact same alliance. But the thing about the Sultans was we kind of had an idea that we could double hang with those guys. So like, as much as it was super cool and nostalgic to be like, hey, let's get the same alliance that we won 2 years ago back together, it was like a legit, dude, these guys are going to be a perfect fit to this alliance. So, and it wound up being that way.
Did their giant ass flag have anything to do with it?
Sorry, what was that?
So their giant ass flag have anything to do with it? Like an 8-foot tall flag.
Man, I missed out. Is the Sultan's flag is an 8-foot tall flag?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty cool. No, the flag, at least, I don't know. I'd have to talk to our scouts. It didn't influence me personally, but they may have seen the flag and gotten persuaded.
Because you're just swinging on the field, Tyler? Is that why you say that?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, cool. All right. So, Steven, up next for 97 is the Houston Championships. Half champs. Rip. Won't see you. What plans do you have between now and then? And can you give us kind of some insight into your driver training regimen?
Sure. So, like I said, we plan to kind of continue basically what we've been doing. We've had a couple days off here because we have to pack up, unfortunately, the robot, and I think it goes out tomorrow morning in the crate. But the practice bot will be up and running, of course, and we'll be doing basically the same thing I kind of described when we talked about how we got ready for Las Vegas after our disappointing finish in Arizona. We'll be practicing quite a bit. We have a few mechanical changes and stuff like that up our sleeve that we think we want to make for championship, and auto changes and stuff like that, of course. But lots of driver practice. We know what we've got now. We're close to performing. Still not where we want to be, but close to performing where we want to be at Las Vegas for championship. So we want to improve, obviously, because everybody's going to improve. But pretty much that practicing every second that we can, basically, and getting our drivers comfortable and me comfortable with the field and everything like that. That's pretty much it.
So before I let you go, we're going to take some questions here, I think, too. So if you have any in the chat, you can please post them. But I just want to talk a little bit about the outreach that 97 continues to do. Obviously, you're a Hall of Fame winning team, winning the Championship Chairman's Award in 2016. But we know that for the Hall of Fame teams, the work certainly doesn't end. So can you talk about anything that 97 is doing right now that's got you excited about, any community service or outreach events or limelight, helping the first community that way? Anything like that would be great to hear.
Sure. I mean, we continue to help out in China. We've gone to China every year since, I think, 3 years before we won the championship chairmans, and every year since then. So we plan on doing that, of course. We have, what was really cool about the Las Vegas Regional this year, we had something like 8 rookie teams. I think 6 or 7 of which were local rookie teams. We have a great sponsor, Steve and Susan Philpott, that have sponsored us for years and years, and they have helped to start several rookie teams, and one of their main goals is to, the unfortunate thing about for sustainability of teams is that there's a lot of one and done teams, especially in our area. It's difficult to sustain teams in the desert, so a lot of our efforts are going to that right now. Just on the local level, our economy is starting to pick back up again. Fortunately, here in the Las Vegas area, we lag behind a little bit everybody else because our economy is very much dependent on everybody else's personal economy doing well. So a lot of teams in the area, we want to keep them going and sustaining those kind of things.
So we did have a couple questions in chat that I want to grab from you, Stephen, before we let you go. So Graham Phantom Delta asked about your student to mentor ratio. How many mentors do you have on the team? How many students do you have on the team?
Man, it's hard to say. We have 60 students on our team.
Wow.
And mentors that are there full time all the time, we probably have about 7 or 8 of them. And our team operates a little bit. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a little bit differently. It might be the same as your team, might be different. But most of the mentors of our team, 6 of them to be exact, are teachers or counselors like myself at the school. So we're all teachers kind of thing. And we have, of course, a few engineers that help us out too. Mark Jones is great, has been with the team for many, many years. But for the most part, 6 out of the 8 of us that are there around the most are teachers. So I would say 60 to 8. We have, of course, a ton of alumni, parents, sponsors, and stuff like that help us as well. But the people that, if you were to swing by the shop on any given day of the week and come by and see us, there's about 8 of us there basically that are on full time.
Awesome. And we have one other question as well, and then we'll let you go here from Huntane. What is your interpretation of your performance from 2017 to 2018 in the differences, like where have your improvements been? What have you seen to grow, especially you as a second-year drive coach? What do you see from those differences?
Yeah, it's kind of a hard question to answer just because it is only my second year as drive coach. But we've just learned so much over the last few years. Like looking back at like the 2017 robot, we were like, man. So one of the things we missed the boat on was like indexing the game pieces, the little neon yellow balls that we had to shoot into for fuel from last year. We went and looked at all these great robots like 1986, 118, for example, with those like awesome shooters. 1690 in our division, they indexed the fuel. We kind of just brute forced them through this little turret that we had in the middle. And while it was efficient, while it worked decently enough, it was nothing on the level compared to those guys. So that was definitely a big learning experience for us. I think we did really well with what we had last season, and that is our goal again for this season. We like to, no matter what you field, you know what I mean? You want to play it to its fullest potential, and that's just one of the things that it develops through the season. I feel like it's done that more the last couple seasons. We haven't necessarily had the greatest robots in comparison to what we've had in years past, but we made it to Einstein last year. We'll see what the future holds for us this year, but we want to, drive it like we stole it basically and do the best we can with what we fielded. So those are the kind of developments that I see that we're most proud of for sure and that we want to continue doing for this year.
Awesome. Stephen, on behalf of all of us and all of our viewers, man, we just want to thank you for having you on. It's just always great when we can just kind of pick the brains of from representatives of teams like yours, just in this just in the higher echelon of teams. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you guys so much. It's been great being here. I do it anytime. So thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys are top notch. Justin and I have done 1 or 2, or in Tyler too, maybe 1 or 2 videos with you guys in your pit at a championship, and you guys are just so nice and the best of the best. So thank you.
I know we need to meet up again. I haven't seen you guys in a couple of years. I know, right? So maybe we'll have to come to Detroit or something.
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say, might want to win a
champs.
championship.
How about the Finger Lakes Regional?
There you go.
Yeah, it's a possibility. We've been looking for someplace new to go. So
All right, before we let
It's a little
Stephen
cold,
go
though.
here, because we'll transition during this process. Stephen will keep you on for just a moment here. So international recap, by the way, will be coming. We're going to merge it with next week. So heads up on that. Watch out for that as well. And we thank Jester for doing that. But we did get this awesome video from the Colorado Regional. And want to take a look at it does show a lot of the finalist alliances in 1619. It was made from somebody at 1619, and for the life of me, I'm blanking the name, and I feel really bad about that. But I'll know it once we get back on here, and I'll give the recognition. But let's take a look at this awesome recap video from the Colorado Regional.
Yeah. Na 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 na. Lord, give me an angel, yeah. Someone who's faithful, yeah. This world is so hateful, you're running through my mind and I really can't take you. James Harden at the Garden when I'm going off. You see the guard around my neck, I'm just showing off. You looking at the best, baby, I ain't gonna stop. Reaching for the mountaintop. The mountains really coming, forever coming. Got the 12 red summers, holy like the Pope. From hell I've been running, yeah. From hell I've been running all of my life. I've been focused on my craft, making fans every night. I ain't focused on your compliments or peasy advice. I'm focused on the message when I sit down and write.
118 Robotics and their robot inclusion off the breakdown.
Told is lies, what I say is truth. Time to cut ties, to pave a better route. There's a purpose now for being in the booth. Music helps save my life, it can save yours too. I calm my mind, slicing through the forest just to make it out alive. My friends ain't believe me, just give me some time. A little preparation, cross that line.
We'd love to play with y'all.
People gonna try and steer you in the wrong direction. They gonna try and pass judgment on you about what you should and shouldn't be doing. But at the end of the day, you yourself can only decide that. Take me for example. I blocked out all the noise, locked myself in my room for a couple years and just look at the goddamn now. And that's thanks to myself. So remember, at the end of the day, you can do any of that shit. Follow your path, do that's where greats are born. Woo.
Yeah.
So big thanks to Jeremy Thomas, by the way, for putting that together. I'm going to put his YouTube page, spam it a few times in chat, guys. Go check it out. He's got some cool things on there. You can look at that. And this video will be up on Fun's YouTube page right after our shows tonight. So you can go ahead and check that out additional times if you want to, or you can watch it on this show as well. So thank you, Jeremy Thomas. That was a pretty kick-ass video.
Well, yeah, it's pretty sweet. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy. So right before we get into the FRC Top 25, we're going to take a quick break here and check in with our resident artist, Christina Tia. How's our 341 robot coming?
It's coming along. I'm just so blown away by those 1619 videos. They're so good.
Yeah, so good. Dude, that robot was awesome in 2012.
Yeah.
They're autonomous and then going to the ramp and taking the two and shoot. Yeah, it was cool.
That was crazy.
So Christina, on the drawing, is there anything else with it that we're expecting, or is it the frame pretty much, or are we going to see like other parts added to it?
I'm just gonna be sticking with the robot. No additional, like cats hanging from things this week.
Yeah, that's
But,
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
You should do like, what's that called? Not a Where's Waldo or like an I Spy, but of robot things. That'd be so sweet.
There you go. Yeah.
Just add animals into all my
Yeah,
robots.
but no, like do a page for it. It'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning that robot was 76, 8-1 overall and won 4 events.
Wow. I'm not surprised. It was so
Right?
good.
Yeah.
76, 8.
They were finalists in their division, beat by Pink and High Rollers.
I was
And
gonna
the
say
Fed.
Pink.
And the
I think
Feds.
Pink came to
the
Boston that
Feds.
year too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what you said.
Here
Sweet.
come the Feds. Yeah, they won. They won
2006.
together.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right. So with that, we're getting to the top 25. And as Tyler mentioned at the top of the show, we received nearly 450 votes. Again, a new record for the top 25. That is just absolutely nuts and insane. So thank you guys for voting. And just encourage those around you, encourage those on your team, in your area, in your region, in your district, to get out and vote as well.
Just make sure you follow the rules, guys. It's not very hard,
Absolutely.
but some people have
Yeah.
troubles following that.
Yeah. Is that 450 accepted votes or 450 total?
No, that was 12. I remember usually we have like 10% that are not accepted.
Yeah.
Like
So
that.
we definitely go through them. So.
Yep.
So make sure you check out our website, firstupdatesnow.com, our Facebook page, our Chief Delphi. Voting is open from 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday after events wrap up through 6 p.m. Eastern Monday. So make sure you go ahead and get your selections in on time.
Yep, and don't forget, we also have some brand new apparel from First Style, including the option for your team to grab a shirt that lets everyone know that you guys were featured here on the top 25. We're trying to keep those costs super low, flat $5 shipping to the U.S. and Canada. So go ahead and get them for your entire team. International shipping is also available. You can find the apparel link on our website, firstupdatesnow.com, or by going to shopfirststyle.com. We also have that 10% off coupon available on our website, and you can use FUN10 as the code there to get that 10% off. All right,
So,
Mike, you want to transition here?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I scrolled way too far up. I was like,
Yeah, number
I was
one.
about to say, like, we have a fantastic giveaway tonight. Curtis, I was like, wait, we already talked about that.
Well, we do have that, but it's coming.
True.
later.
I don't even know why I scrolled all the way up. Perfect. So with that said, we're gonna get to here into the top 25, and I think Justin, you introduced this first one.
Did you already do your rant here?
Oh no, that's right. Oh, sorry. It's not a okay. It's a mini rant, but it's not really a rant. It was more of just like so just kind of just even personally taking the teams that I'm going to talk about. So I think 13 teams. There's just so many robots that are playing this game at a high level this year, and like you could definitely make the argument. We've said similar things to this before that teams that I'm going to talk about like in the 20s could easily like be in that upper top 10 or in the 10 to the 15 range. Like there's so many good teams, and kind of just it goes where the votes lie. And we always just say take these rankings with a grain of salt, and there's the bigger picture here, just getting together with you guys every week talking about robots. But I just was really like floored just to see how many teams only have like 2 or 3 losses through 3 events, but they might be like 20th or 21st or something. So just take it with a grain of salt, and it's just it's a blast hanging out with you guys.
For sure.
I just want to mention too, like the 25 is such an arbitrary number, right? Like I mentioned the Sheep Delphi, but we could have the top 100, but we'd have a 4-hour show. So keep in mind, guys, like how many there's usually 1,000 to 1,500 teams competing each week, something like that. Be proud where your team lied, and if you want to do more, then get out there and go campaign more, do better, and just keep going. It's consistency pays off over time.
For sure.
Yeah. Even that's a crazy number. I guess I never thought about what the number is, but if there's 1,000 teams competing each week, 1,500 teams, even being in the top 100 is a heck of an accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. And then to go even further.
All right, but this is the top 25. So we will start here with the 25th team and talk about Team 25.
That's it. So from North Brunswick, New Jersey, and North Brunswick High School, it's Raider Robotics. They had an overall record of 33-3, and they were the winners of the Mount Olive District event, and most recently, the winners of the Montgomery District event. So they came off their 17-1 dominating performance at Mount Olive this past weekend. They looked to keep that train rolling at the Montgomery event. They ranked 3rd, and they were selected 1st overall, and would take the win in 6 matches, I think. they can place 2 cubes on the Switch in auto. It's just as smooth robot placing on the scaler or on the Switch than in Teleop. So congrats to this legendary team on an already successful season. I think their second week here in the top 25. And good luck at the rescheduled H&H, which I think is coming up. And then they'll be at the Mar Champs and then hopefully half champs from there. So that's Team 25, Raider Robotics.
Sweet.
And then the next team on our 24th spot is going to be Team 3476.
From Irvine, California, it's Code Orange, 13-3 overall. We're the finalists at the Orange County Regional. So if you missed the Orange robot from Code Orange at the Orange County Regional, you missed the debut of a great machine. It's not the fastest robot on the field, but it has a great cube intake, a fast elevator, and a buddy lift that performs well enough to help them seed second overall. Code Orange is already working on some improvements that we've seen kind of on through the Code Orange Facebook as they take this week off from competition, but they'll be ready to hit the field next week at the Aerospace Valley Regional before heading to South Champs in Houston. So good luck to Code Orange 3476. And just to kind of comment what we just posted in chat, it is a sexy robot. That orange, that orange looks good.
It does. It's quite slick. And Pauline and everybody else on the team there did a fantastic job with a great robot, both aesthetically and performance-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pauline chimed in, wished us good luck tonight. So I know she helped us out there in the first week, and we'll be excited to have her back when the time comes.
For sure. All righty. In the 23rd spot this week, we have team number 125.
From Boston, Massachusetts, and Revere, Brookline, and Boston Latin High Schools, it's the Neutrons. They have an overall record of 36-4, and they were the finalists at the Palmetto Regional in the New England District North Shore events. So the ever-busy Neutrons kept up their marathon of a season on this past weekend at the Rhode Island District event with 2 finalist medals on the year and a District Chairman's Award, so 3 medals. They looked to take home that robot gold. Ranking 5th, they were selected 2nd overall. And with 2 hard-fought battles, they took an exit there in the semifinals. They've quickly and effectively placed cubes in auto, and then in Teleop, and have one of the most unique climbers and buddy climbers that we've seen here in Power Up. So good luck at the Greater Boston event, which will be their next event, and then New England Champs, and then Detroit. So they still have a long way to go for the Neutrons. Another great team that just keeps iterating. Christine, do you have anything kind of else to add since you're on the Neutrons?
Yeah, so Rhode Island was definitely a tough event for us. We switched over our buddy lift system from pneumatics to gearboxes. So the students kind of battled that out when we had some bag time, and then finished it off once we got to the event. And, they definitely improved it from North Shore, and they're looking forward to, Greater Boston, getting it to lift a little higher. So all of our buddy lift counts. We were able to lift about a dozen robots at that event. Not all of them counted because they were sagging a little bit, but it was definitely successful overall. Should be a good time in Greater Boston.
So your guys's your climber that you have, I know there was without getting too much detail, there was some from watching the event, there was kind of some close calls in regards to if it counted or if it didn't. So are you guys looking at doing anything for your next event to try to make sure it is above that 12-inch line?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was definitely really frustrating for the students to, finally get robots that could get on there, and they, made the robot so teams would stay on there. But we definitely noticed the sagging is just way too close to call. And, they're hoping to either get the elevator on our robot to lift a little more, and then they're making the forks a bit more rigid from what I've heard. So hopefully it'll, be blatantly obvious that we have lifted our partners at our next event.
I just don't like how it's like just kind of how far the refs can get down to look and see how close it is.
If they look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just, I like the fact that they don't have to like stay elevated, but I do also like the fact of them like bringing over the little thing to check the height, like, because then it's just no doubt, then it's, but whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of teams, Mike, I mean, when T equals 0, like they'll drop back down, which I think Neutrons do that, if I'm right, Christine. Right?
That's what I'm saying. I like that there's that option to do that, but I also like that when they don't do that, they can go out and they can actually measure.
Sure, gotcha. Yeah.
So, all right, so that's our 23rd ranked team. That was team 125. Our 22nd ranked team is going to be 42-53.
From Chinese Taipei and a Taipei American school, it's Raid Zero, 47-7 overall, and we're the winners of the Southern Cross and Hawaii regionals. So I actually got a chance to start the season with this robot up close. I saw them in Central New York, where they began their season. They've been on a whirlwind tour since then, seeing them literally nearly cross the planet. I think New York to Australia is something like 10,000 miles, and the circumference of the Earth is only like 24,000 miles. So it was almost half the planet away. So they've been on just a great tour and picking up wins in Australia, and then this past weekend in Hawaii. Both times they were the number 1 seed. They had to play with 46-13 in Australia and 359 in Hawaii. So that was really cool. They also picked up the Chambers Award this past weekend in Hawaii, so a little double gold cling bling for Raid Zero, and just a great machine. And seeing them kind of transform from what I saw in Central New York, a good robot but not a great robot, and now the changes they make, how they found time to make those changes with all that travel is beyond me. But it's a great machine, and they'll be back in the U.S. here at the Detroit World Championship here soon. So a lot of travel, a lot of robots, and a lot of success for 4253 Raid Zero.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, that's why personally I think it should be ranked higher. But on the other hand, I'm actually surprised they're even on the rankings, because a lot of times an international team like that won't get the visibility of what other teams do sometimes. So I think it's amazing that they are in the top 25 and they are getting that visibility. And clearly the two wins have made a big impact.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think we'd find a team that could compete for travel miles with the Hawaiian kids, but
yeah, or Barker, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Baka. Alrighty. So moving on to the 21st ranked team is 2910.
From Mill Creek, Washington, and Henry M. Jackson High School, it's Jack and the Bot with an overall record of 33-4. They were the winners of the Mount Vernon and the Glacier Peak district events. So I'm pretty sure this is their debut here in the top 25. And again, I love kind of seeing that the love that the Pacific Northwest is finally getting here in the top 25. And I also personally love the name, which is a playoff for their school name, the Jackson High School. This is Jack and the Bot. So coming off their win at Mount Vernon, 29-10 looked to keep that going this past weekend at the Glacier Peak event. They went a perfect 12-0 in qualification matches, and they took the number 1 seed and made quick work of the rest of the alliances in the playoffs, taking home that gold. They have a really nice swerve drive. Jack and the Bot quickly and easily maneuvers the field, placing cubes in auto and telly up with ease. So again, I believe this is your top 25 debut, so congrats there. And good luck the rest of the way this season.
Their climber is super quick too at the end. Like I think they take up the whole bar, but I think I watched finals 2. And their climber was like 2 seconds or something like that. Like the hook on and climb up was like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
Cool. So congrats to 29-10, Jack and the Bot. So that's our 21st spot. Our 20th ranked team is going to be team number 133.
Justin has muted himself once.
I just leave. Shoot.
Bye.
I was doing so good. All right, Mike, take it from the top.
So our 21st ranked team was team 2910. Our 20th ranked team is going to be team number 133.
From Standish, Maine, and Bonnie Eagle High School, it's Bert. Oh no, my Chrome is all messed up here. 32-4 overall were the winners of the North Shore and Pine Tree District events. So things for Bert this season, to be very blunt, have been pretty darn good. They've gone to 2 events. They've been the number 1 seed twice, and they've won 2 blue banners, and also a blue banner this past weekend for their District Chairman's Award. So a little double gold cling bling as well.
Yeah, come on, Subs. You got to put some of that double gold in chat, by the way.
Definitely. So with New England champs on the horizon, they're certainly looking for some more gold. But what I really like about 133, and I think what's driven a lot of their success, and we've talked about it a lot though, is the care they take to place the cubes on that plate, especially when it gets pretty precarious. And they've been in some matches that have had some double stacks, and even one match where they had to go 3 high, and they take their time, they place, they really understand the value of those cubes. So I've seen their robot attempt to get the 2 cube auto, so the path is right. They've had a little trouble picking up that second cube, but they're working on that, and I'm sure they'll be ready to rock and roll at the New England champs. So good luck to team 133, Bert.
I was really a big fan of them in 2016, so it's really cool to see that team kind of revitalized. I don't think they went the champs last year, so it's really cool to see them just completely rocking it out once again in 2018.
Cool. Congrats to them.
For sure.
All right. Let's do it.
Sorry, I had to get my stupid. Oh, that's why this is an edge. Okay, that's the problem. All right, we got to do a browser switch after this. But in the 19th spot is Team 1325.
From Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and Gordon Graydon Memorial Secondary School, it's Inverse Paradox. An overall record of 31-5. They were the winners this past weekend at the York University event. So with lots of eyes focused on the Waterloo event this past weekend, Inverse Paradox showed why some of those eyes should have been on the York event. Ranking second with an 11-1 record, they were selected first overall by the number 1 seed. 1325 is one of the quickest robots to the scale and autonomous and can play successfully. They make quick work of the remaining cubes in the field. As we kind of always say, in recent years, it's sometimes tough to stand out in Ontario, especially with another high-profile event going on. But Inverse Paradox did that just this past weekend at the York event, and congrats on their win. And on Kindly speaking, but prior to this show, somebody from 1325 was in the chat, and Karthik was just giving acclimates to them as well. So, and that, that says a lot. So congrats to 1325 Inverse Paradox. Good luck the rest of the way. And congrats.
For sure.
Very good. Sweet. We say that, right? Like, it's so tough to stand out in Ontario, but because of the district system, we're seeing more and more teams stand out, which has been kind of a
which is weird because Michigan has had the inverse effect, but maybe because there are so many more Michigan teams.
Yeah, maybe.
That's true.
All right. So moving into our 18th spot, we're going to hear about Team 3005.
From Dallas, Texas, Emmett J. Conrad High School, it's the RoboChargers, 26-8 overall, and we're the winners of the Colorado Regional. So we talked going into the event that 3005, 3005, 30, I don't know.
Yeah,
3005.
3005 didn't sound right when
I'm going with 3005.
I would say 3005 announcing.
Thank you. All right, so they were part of that Texas invasion that headed to the Colorado Regional. And while it was a team from Colorado that did end up seeding first, second and third were 148 and 118. So though 3005 ranked 17th, we all know scouters don't really care too much about final rankings. And 118 picked 3005 along with 4293, and they played great. The Alliance executed in 3005. This made me really happy. Was able to take home their first blue banner ever for winning an event.
Wow.
So it must have been a really awesome weekend for them. And a big congrats to them. And they'll be competing next at the Houston Championship. So good luck to 3005, the RoboChargers.
Very cool.
That's amazing. That's their first regional win, and what a way to get it too.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, in what fashion, man?
I mean, Colorado regional was nuts. So and I know there's a lot. If you looked at the webcast numbers, I think Colorado at one point, just on their main channel, had close to 1,000 concurrent viewers on it. Wow. So like, look at how many people are watching that versus the other regional events, which were usually between like 200 to 400. I mean, even Waterloo wasn't even close to it this year. I mean, it was nuts how many eyes were on Colorado.
Yeah, and if you look at 3005, it's like, yes, it's surprising, but at the same time, like when you have to go against the Allsparks and 148 and 118 and all the other great Texas teams in Texas Torque and all of your regionals, it's tough to get one. Yeah. So it's great for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then even this isn't anything on 3005, but it was kind of the same thing like for 340, right? Never winning the Finger Lakes. Like, not only were you not good enough to be there, but you were also weren't like the third robot on that team at all to like kind of to play a part, but also to kind of get in there too. So man, that's awesome. What a way to get your first blue banner too.
For sure. All right, looks like we're going to go back to Ontario here in the 17th spot and talk about 4917.
From Elmira, Ontario, Canada, an Elmira District Secondary School, it's Sir Lancerbot. They had an overall record of 15-4, and they were the winners of the Water.
Lou.
Thank you. The Waterloo event. So waiting until week 4 to play. Sir Lancerbot got off to a great start at Waterloo this past weekend, where they ranked second, and they would captain that alliance. They lost semifinal match 1, but they bounced back in the next 2, and they would face the number 1 seed there in the finals. In just an incredible and an amazing set of hard-fought matches. This number to Alliance, led by 49-17, would take home the huge upset against the number 1 seed. Sir Lancerbach can place 2 cubes in the switch and auto, and then places up high on the scale very well as well. So just an amazing win led by this team. Yeah. Big congrats to them. And then another, like, another win. You know, what another way to win. And in that fashion.
And the win in 2, by the way, too.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So congrats on a great machine and well-executed strategy and well-executed match to take the win there. So that's 49-17, Sir Lancerbot. Crazy. Back-to-back teams there, winning in dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
All right, so that was 17. Moving on to 16, we're going to hear about Team 2590.
From Robbinsville, New Jersey, Robbinsville High School, its nemesis, 34-4 overall, and were the winners of the Hudson Valley Regional. So after getting a little warm up at their first district event, 2590 went to the Hudson Valley Regional, and they absolutely dominated. They went undefeated through all 18 of their matches. They showed they can play well at the exchange, the switch, the scale, and they can assist others with a little buddy boost to face the boss for some additional ranking points. And get this, I have never seen this, and I'm sure someone in the chat can tell me that it was different somewhere else, but I was blown away when I saw this. They got 40 RPs, which was 11 RPs higher than the next highest ranked team.
Not even close.
Wow.
That's insane. Like, I've never seen a RP differential that big. So I was blown away by that. It's just a testament to their great machine. And if you hadn't a chance to catch them yet, looks like they'll be competing at the rescheduled Hairborough Horsham event just this weekend. So make sure you check out 2590 Team Nemesis. But yeah, that RP differential was
nuts. Yeah.
11 higher.
They could have sat out their last 2 matches.
Yeah.
Literally.
3 matches, probably.
Yeah. But that's nuts.
Side note, by the way, Hudson Valley Regional bringing in 3 backup robots for playoffs. Really? Yeah.
Wow.
I don't see that too often.
Yeah.
I was just pulling up there. So what was their average? That's I'm pulling up
3.33.
Yep.
3.33. Wow. Awesome job. Very cool.
Well, and a big thing too is like it's kind of like OPR this year. It's like, when you look at event to event, it doesn't really matter too much because from the ranking score perspective, if like nobody else can do what they do, then to have them be that much of a differential is huge. Like versus like Colorado, that I think 16-19 had a perfect 4.0 or something like that for their first 3 matches. But at that event, there's plenty of other teams that could do what they need to do to get it. I think 2590 had to do a lot on their own, or get that one other robot to be with them to get those 4 RPs. So I think that's extra impressive in my book.
Yeah, and 2590 is just, again, another one of those teams we've talked about in the top 25 for so long. But I feel like they just, I don't know if maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, first wide, they really don't necessarily get the attention that they deserve always, even though they're so consistent year after year.
Yep.
Good point.
So it was cool for them, definitely. All right. So, Mike, we're on this weird thing. Like, you've got all the Ontario teams. I don't know why it happens that way. But back to the Great White North and talking about 1360.
From Oakville, Ontario, Canada, and Oakville Community First Robotics, it's Orbit Robotics, an overall record of 33-3-1. Wow, a tie in this game. They were the winners of the Georgian College District event and the winners of the York University District event this past weekend. So they took the number 1 seed and the win at their first event, and they duplicated just that this past weekend at the York event with the ranking score average of 2.66. They were seeded first and would captain that first alliance, and would pick the team that we just talked about not too long ago, 1325, as well as 6140. So they place on the switch in auto, and then with the hang at the end, they deploy an arm, which 1325 used with great success there, earning that double climb. So congrats to Orbit Robotics. They have 3 banners on the year already. They took that win home at the Georgian District event, as well as the District Chairman's Award there. So, guys, Ontario Champs is just looking to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they had District Chairman's at York with their win.
Oh, at York. I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, so they got the Kling Bling at York.
Oh, at Kling Bling. So let's do that in the chat there. So, gold, and I was told, I forget who was telling me or in the chat or something, but Ontario district champs is going to have 2 fields, I believe, correct?
I believe that is correct this year. Yeah.
So I think that's good. I think it'll be like, I mean, I wish they would be all on the same field and just have some crazy playoff matches, but it'll be cool to kind of have, 2 different scenes play.
I think it's 80 teams with 240s, but I'm not 100% sure what the numbers are
good
for that. Yeah.
Yeah. But kind of just like half champs, you're not going to maybe see the matchup you would like to see, but you'll just get double the fun, I guess.
Yeah. And by the way, Mike, they tied their first quarters match at, is it Gagarin? How do you pronounce that?
Georgian, I think we said.
Georgian?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
So, man, I hate pronouncing city names. At the Georgian event, they tied their first quarters match. So kind of crazy to see that in a elims, actually.
I lagged out there. What did you say?
Oh, I said it's just crazy to see that in elims.
Yeah.
Oh, it happened in the elimination matches. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm sorry, playoff matches. By the way. We got to get that,
we use them in
that correct nomenclature down. Oh, don't tell certain people that.
I'm really disappointed. We're competing at the Long Island Regional number 2, which is the last regional of the year, week 7. So I'm not gonna be able to watch or attend any of these awesome Michigan State champs, Ontario State champs.
Yeah.
It's all that New England. I mean, almost every state champ or every district champs, is that weekend. So it's gonna be some crazy matches to watch.
It's gonna be great for us watching from home.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see if I can get up there. I gotta see what they. Anyways.
To the Ontario Provincial Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
So that was where are we? I got lost. Thank you. So that was
15 around 14.
That was 15 and 1360. We're gonna move on to our 14th ranked team, and that's team 3309.
From Anaheim, California, it's the FRCTop25. 18-9 overall were the finalists at the Orange County Regional. So the number 1 seeded team at OCR was the FRCTop25, and they did so as many others have, utilizing a really, really elegant buddy lift, some really slick auto modes, and some consistent play. We're really starting to see a little bit about what it's going to take, or what's required more so, at the championship event to seed at the top of your division. So the FRCTop25 did get in a little bit of foul trouble in their finals matches, which I think maybe prevented them from taking home the win. But their machine is strong, and after improving upon their quarterfinal performance to finalists this past weekend, they look to take home gold in their last regional before champs at the Aerospace Valley Regional coming up. So congrats to the FRCTop25 also on their Chairman's Award win at OCR for a little silver gold cling bling for them as well. So that was 3309, the FRCTop25.
Silver gold cling bling. Bam. A lot of cling bling this week, by the way.
Yeah. It's really becoming I was going to say, it's a top 25 mainstay at this point. Mm-hmm. Teams are just kicking butt on and off the field.
Yep.
So I may be looking up how to pronounce on YouTube this next team.
I will say, I think it was just luck of the draw. I think for a few years, I guess for the first few years, I did most of the intros anyway, so I really had a lot of practice saying this one. So I'm enjoying watching you go through the evolution of.
So you're looking up the city name or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you don't know how to pronounce the team name or what?
Yeah, I don't.
So here at the bottom of this, I put.
What'd you say?
We're having an inside conversation here, guys. Stand by.
Stand by.
That's how. So I posted the bottom of the slide. That's how I've always said it. I don't know if that's.
All right, Mike, give it a shot.
Yeah, then not from this YouTube video, but who knows what this is. So go ahead, Justin. You can intro
It's your team in the 13th spies.
Did you already say that?
No, I did not. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
That's my bad. In the 13th spot, team number 359.
From Wailua, Hawaii, and Wailua High School. It's the Hawaiian Kids. An overall record of 29-7. They were the winners of the Festival de Robotics and the winners of the Hawaiian Regional this past weekend. So it seems like forever ago that we were talking about the Hawaiian Kids and how they won their first regional in Montreal, and they got their van broken into despite all of that. Well, with 3 weeks off in between events, they picked up right where they left off there, taking home the win at their hometown regional. Ranking 3rd, they would be selected first overall and would take home the win in that 6 matches. They used their buddy lift in the qualification matches, but they got picked by a robot who they could kind of just co-climb with. so didn't need to use it there. As far as I know. So congrats to the Hawaiian kids. They'll be traveling back into Canada to play at the Canadian Rockies event coming up, and congrats to them. And awesome job again for them. I was gonna say something about Glenn. I was watching live the global teacher award thing. Didn't win, but just the time he had out there in Dubai and all that craziness.
So gotta give him a lot of props for all that, man. All the cool stuff he got to do and go through, and how well earned that was, and everything he's done. It's so easy to gush about a man like that, but it's so well deserved at the same point.
Just seeing on his Facebook like all the celebrities that he was on the red carpet with, I was like, that's so cool. Good for him. Also worth noting that this was the first time since 2015 that the Hawaiian kids have won the Hawaii region. Yeah. So it's a good wait for them to get back on track there in their hometown event.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Congrats to them. All right. So that was our 13th ranked team. Our 12th ranked team is team 842.
From Phoenix, Arizona, Carl Hayden High School. It's the Hall of Fame Falcon Robotics. 29-3 overall were the winners of the Arizona North and Las Vegas regionals. So 842 has been around since 2002. They entered the Hall of Fame in 2008 and did something this year for the first time in their history, 2 regional wins in the same season. Arizona North and Vegas are 2 events that draw some big names, and 842 went toe-to-toe with them in each and came out on top both times. The lack of a buddy lift, I think, is one thing that kept them out of being the number 1 seed, but they were the first team off the board at Arizona, and they led the number 2 alliance to victory in Vegas. So an awesome regional season for 842, and we'll see them more as they take the field at the Houston Champs, where they'll be looking to add more hardware to their 2018 collection. So good luck to 842 Falcon Robotics.
I'm actually surprised they weren't higher, because I was just looking up 2 weeks ago when the Arizona North was going on, when you had what was the event? I think Arkansas or something like that, with a lot of good teams too, that they were ranked 8th. There's a lot of really, really good teams this week in the polls, so maybe that's why. But I mean, their performance has been rock solid, and maybe you're right, Justin. That maybe not having that buddy bar or some sort of lift for another robot maybe does set them back a little bit versus the other ones, but there are other robots ahead of them that can also do that as well. So I'm curious why that was. I don't know. I thought I got to see them in hand first person at the Las Vegas Regional, and they were lights out. I thought they were improved over their last event. The quarters, the quals, they were a little not as refined in their driving, but as they started getting into the playoffs, their driving was just spot on.
Yeah. I've also kind of noticed it seemed like in general, at least the matches I've seen, I think it's a little bit has to do with the cluttered field, but the speed of robots this year, and I don't know, maybe the size, I think they're just bigger overall, but last year I felt like there were teams that were zipping all over the field. They were low, they were fast, they were quick. Robots this year just don't seem as fast or as smooth as a lot of robots I saw this year. Maybe that'll get better with time. But
smooth, I think, is the key, right? Yeah. I think there are some robots that are quite fast, but they're just they haven't gotten the process refined enough, right?
Yeah. And it's a game that requires a lot of smoothness, and it's tough to, you need smoothness in picking up the cube, raising the cube, and placing the cube. So there's a lot of places that you can really kind of lose your smoothness in that process. But all right, so we are going to usually get our slides going out of order. So we'll take a break before our top 10. But here we'll talk in the 11th spot about team number 3683.
And that is a team from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, and St. David Catholic Secondary School. It's Team Dave, an overall record of 15-4. They were the winners of the Waterloo District event this past weekend. So competing for the first time this season, Team Dave finished 6th with a 9-3 record and a 2.16 ranking score average. They were selected to the second alliance by Team 4917. Some really great chemistry on that team, mixed with the strong cube placement and auto by Dave. And their teleop play. The final saw the second alliance play against that number 1 alliance. Some absolutely, as mentioned, spectacular matches, and that great chemistry that we saw, and just the level of play that they brought to the playoff matches. They were just able to take down that number 1 seed in 2 matches. So awesome play by 3683 and company. Congrats to them. I was just doing some research because I remember this team had been around a while. and had not won an event yet. And their first event win was back in 2016. And I remember talking about that on the show because it was just such a big deal for this team. A team that was competing at a high level for a while, just couldn't get that win. Finally did in 2016. And then just been doing some great ever since. They won the Tesla division last year. And then this year they're off to a great start as well. So congrats to 3683 Team Dave, and another great team just sticking out there in Ontario. Justin, you must have been going through this whole thing thinking, man, there's no no Canadian teams on this list.
I really was like, it's so crazy. You've talked about, I think this is the 5th or 4th Canadian team, and we're probably going to talk about a few more, and I don't have any of them. It's just nuts. So funny. So we'll take a little break here. If you have any questions that we can either hit now or we can talk about, we take a little break before the top 5 as well, so you can throw those in the chat. But I think Mike's going to talk about his snub of the week.
Snub of the week. So I actually have 2 this week, as I did last week as well. Just snubs of the week, I guess.
Yeah.
So my first one is going to go to Team 4003, the Trisonics. This was a team that was highlighted in Intimidation on our regional recaps yesterday. So if you're not watching on Tuesday or on Mondays, make sure you do. We just we go through Intimidation, we go through the Northeast, the South, International. We do a whole bunch of stuff. So it's a great way to kind of see what happened while you were competing or just not watching the events. So that was great. So 4003 Trisonics, they have 2 event wins on the year and a chairman's award. Made a dominant performance this past week. They're 32-5 overall. They won. They were the winners of the category number 2 event in the DCA, the District Chairman's Award, and the win at West Michigan. So that's my first. I think they were ranked like 7th or something.
Yeah, 94th overall.
7th in Michigan and 94th on the top 25 list. So pretty far down there. So I just want to give them a quick shout out. And the second snub of the week I'm going to give to Team 303, the test team from the Mar District. Their first event, they won at the Mount Olive District event, excuse me. And then they competed again in Mar, and they won the Bridgewater Raritan event there. And then they competed outside of Mar, went to the Greater Pittsburgh Regional, and were winners there. So they have an overall record of 45-8, and still have Mar champs to go, and then hopefully championship from there. So those are my 2 snubs of the week: 303 the test team and 4003 the Trisonics, excuse me.
And 303 was close. They end up 34th, so they'll show up in the top 40 once we post on Cheap Delphi.
You said what for the test team?
34th.
Yeah.
So still getting up there, but with three event wins, that's still it's really, really impressive. Absolutely.
So we're gonna do the giveaway from Christine here.
We'll do both of them at the top 5.
At the 5 break. Okay.
Yeah. So because we'll give this away separately. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do a little PSA here for first. But if you guys look up, there was a question about speculation on the McMaster Ontario event. So I don't know if you guys want to look that up real quick. And there's some pretty amazing teams that are coming in for that. So I want to bring up though something that I saw on a Facebook group the other day, and I'm trying to bring it back up so I have that again. But one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys about is about championships. They're still looking for a lot of volunteers at championships. So I talked to Fiona from First yesterday because they're trying to fill some championship spots for volunteers. They have tons and tons and tons of spots that they need filled for this. And the good news is that not all of them are full commitments all the way through. There's a lot of one-day ones as well. So here's some things that you can do, by the way. I'm just going to list off a few of these that are one-day things that you can do to help make a big impact as a first championship volunteer. Not to mention you get, cool t-shirt, you get the go, I think you get field access. Don't quote me on that. But you also get some free food and stuff too. So pretty awesome. So with that said, here's some things that they're looking for setup. Field assembly. They need people from 9 to 4 on Tuesday at championships to do some field assembly. Einstein field assembly. You want to be part of assembling the Einstein fields at the big stadiums. You can go ahead and do that. Fridays, they need somebody for that during the day. Practice field disassembly Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. That's not too much time out of your day. Field disassembly from 12 to 2 on Saturday. And then team load in and team load out are also one-day things they need help with. And anybody can do that. Go ahead and step up, guys. They need people to make that happen. There's a lot of volunteers that take any event to make happen. If you have time, please consider doing that. You can reach out to volunteer@firstinspires.org for an opportunity to find out where you can fit in. If you can do the entire event, that's fantastic too. I've done volunteering for entire events many times, and it's a very rewarding experience. You get to meet a lot of really cool teams. You get to go in areas you might not have been able to go to before, and see things you might not have seen before too. A lot of times as a volunteer, you get to bump in the areas where you might see Woody Flowers more often, or Will I Am, or something like that. No guarantees, but there's a lot of cool opportunities for that. So once again, volunteer@firstinspires.org if you're interested in filling one of the many roles that they need for one of both championships.
Sweet deal. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I didn't see any questions in the chat, really.
That one event was the only one. So the McMaster Ontario event. So I'll jump in on that because I've had a chance to look at it. Because here, let me just read off some of these teams for you guys that are going to be at this event. Yeah. You got 188 Blizzard. I can almost list off every team. That's the problem. So 38 teams. 188 Blizzard, 1241 36, 1325, 2056, 2200, 2609, 3683, 4039. There was a couple other higher number ones too. Celtics 5406 who just did an amazing. Robo Sapiens, Chargers. This is a ridiculously stacked Canada event, and I'm really
trying to get
looking
out there for that one. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Week 6 event. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to go.
Yeah, not this weekend, the next one. So that is a stacked event. I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm kind of curious to see where they might go, because look at like a team like Celtics. I mean, their bot is built for ranking points, right? And I think that's gonna still suit them very well. Is that we have like a great robot to point out, which Tyler's a broken record on, is 2041 Robotiers. They don't do that great in ranking score because they go for the scale first and not the switch necessarily. But they've won 3 regional events nonetheless because they get picked up right away. I really like the theory, like what Celtics has. Like let's be the number 1 alliance captain, and I'm not saying that's not Robotier strategy by any means, but like something like that, I could see Celtics taking the number 1 seed as well. And I don't know who they pick, man. There's a really dense field. I mean, if they do seed number 1, but that's a really dense field, and I think you're gonna probably see alliances. I mean, 1 through 5 all have 2 really strong robots, and then of course you have the spoilers coming through 6 through 8. They're going to pick up a couple of those mid tiers that could be big news too. Look at Las Vegas, the number 8 seed defeated number 1 seed, and that happened I think 2 or 3 times this week as well.
Good stuff. And here I was like, I don't even think any Canadian teams are in the top 25, so I'm glad to see all these Canadian teams are doing good.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what do you say? Want to get back into it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was lost.
Lost in the chat.
So that's blowing my mind right now. So, where are we? All right. So top 10. Let's do it. Our 10th ranked team is going to be team 225.
From York, Pennsylvania, it's Techfire. An incredible 50 match wins this year. Only 5 losses were the winners of the Springside, Chestnut Hill, and Montgomery district events. So after starting as finalists at their first event, 225 has gone on a tear through their next 2 events, going a combined 34-2 overall, and winning both of those events. In this most recent event, they won a perfect 18-0. It's been really fantastic to watch 225 compete 3 times in these past 4 weeks, and I've really loved watching their autonomous evolve in that short amount of time. So in finals match 1, they scored 1 cube on the scale, which is really commendable. Many teams can't even do that. Finals match 2 of their second event, they scored 2 cubes on the scale, getting better. And finals match 1 of their third event, they scored 3 cubes on the scale. So really, it's been awesome to watch that evolution. They've gotten better and better. I wonder where they're going to be as they kind of go toward their district champs and world champs. So go Techfire 225.
Yeah. That's sweet, man. 3 on the scale is awesome.
It's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to Ben Martin, by the way.
Yeah. Is he on Techfire? I'm guessing.
Yes, he's moving though, but yes. So.
He's what?
He's moving to St. Louis.
Oh.
At least last I heard. Hopefully that's known. Sorry, Techfire, if it's not.
Way to go, Tyler.
Phones are blowing up right now.
Yeah, right. What do you mean?
What?
That was like when Ryan Donio announced he was moving back to Indiana, and I said that on a show. I had like 5 people reach out to me, like, "What's his phone number? How do I reach him?"
Well, we do pride ourselves on FRC breaking news, so
yes.
It's yeah, that'll be here.
Skyhawk, the 2 snub teams were 303, and what was the other one, Mike?
4003.
Oh, thank you.
4003.
Yeah, sorry, you just put that in chat. My bad.
It's all good. I just saw it. I was lost.
I just can't believe that those teams 3 Trisonics is a snub for sure, but Techfire 3 event wins, and you can't even crack the top 25. That's
test team.
Test team. Right,
Team.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's
2 in Mar, 1 regional. Yeah. I mean, so they're getting their name around, right? You know, it's not just Mar
for
people
sure, but
it's like, so they're showing their
All right. So back into the single digits here in the 9th spot, we have Team 1241.
From Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and Rick Hansen Secondary School, it's Theory 6 with an overall record of 30-6. They were the winners of the Canadian Pacific Regional. So coming off their win at that Canadian Pacific Regional, they look for their 2nd gold of the year this past weekend at the Waterloo event. They have a strong grabber, able to take in the cube at any orientation, and a quick elevator to place those cubes high on the scale. We've really loved watching this kind of steady climb of 1241 over the past years. They've won many events, many district chairman's awards, the Ontario Championship Chairman's Award. If that's not right, Provincial Chairman's Award. They've been that team to beat and play with at many events. So congrats to them. They're 9th here. They came off that heartbreaking finalist loss there at the Waterloo event, but nonetheless, of having just such a strong.
I actually feel like the robot's improved. I mean, regardless of getting knocked out in the finals, I actually think their robot has continued to improve. Yeah. Sometimes you don't win that way, but I actually feel like their efficiency has improved.
And then Christine has something to add too, apparently.
Yeah, so we've got to work with 1241 through the Compass Lines, and they are just an awesome group of people. They definitely are doing a ton of awesome stuff in Canada, and I feel like since Canada has moved to districts, and we've said this over and over on the top 25, it's been really cool to see a lot of these teams that have been, awesome for a long time really break through and get, put on a platform that they deserve. So it's been really cool working with 1241. We're super excited to see them in Detroit this year. So
yeah, we had a great time playing with them in the off season. 2015, we went to Canada for the Stemley Cup, the off season event that Makeshift helps put on, and 1241 did a cool thing there where they had only female students were there. So the female students were on the drive team, they were the pit crew, they were in the pits, they were in the stands. So it was a really cool way to see teams kind of get the girls in their team super involved, and we had a chance to play in the eliminations with them, and it was just a lot of fun. So can't say enough about 1241.
Awesome.
All right, moving on to 8th, we're going to hear about Team 1323.
From Madera, California, Madera High School, it's Madtown Robotics, 14-0, undefeated winners of the Sacramento Regional. So this past weekend, 1323 hit the field for the first time, and they excelled right out of the gate with a unicorn match in their first time at the arcade. So unicorn matches, all 4 RPs. And it was, for me, or I think for anyone, seeing a team in their very first match pull off something that's only occurring in like 4% of all matches or less, it really is an impressive feat. So similar to 125, they kind of fold the robot in half to achieve their buddy lift, and that's not something that's easy to do. So to see it work so well so early is really testament to the engineering process on 1323. But they were an easy pick for 1678, and their alliance really dominated the event. So it's only the beginning for the Swerve Drive machine, and at Central Valley, they will look again to keep up their winning ways. So congrats on a great robot and a great regional win for 1323 Madtown Robotics.
Did you guys see the final scores for Sacramento, by the way? or like just like the entire match. Here's the scores, and we're going to be talking about one of the other teams as well too soon enough. But quarters 420 to 73, 671 to 65, semis 472 to 38, semis 521 to 38, finals 412 to 118, 506 to 179. That is insane.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Wow. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, 38 points. Oh, I mean, that's like almost immediately like getting your auto switch and then just having the other lines control like immediately right after auto.
Just crushed. Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so they'll be up. We'll get to see them again at Central Valley. So that's going to be another another fun regional to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Faux show. All right, moving on to the 7th ranked team. We have team number 2481.
So Tyler's going to go ahead and talk about this team.
I have to talk about it. All right.
No, just
from Fremont, Illinois,
No,
it's
I
the
got it.
Robotics, 49-1-0, and they were the winners of the St. Louis, Central Illinois, and Wisconsin Regional with the Tournaments Award at St. Louis. How's that?
Damn.
So just an absolutely unbelievable year for the Robotiers so far. 2 regionals where they've gone 16-0, including this past weekend. Their serve drive just enables them to maneuver the field like crazy, just using that telescoping arm and place cubes in the skiller or the switch with ease. Just an amazing robot and an incredible season. They've had 3 regionals in back-to-back weeks, and 3 wins and a regional chairman's award. So 4 blue banners on the year. 49-1. They can finally catch their breath after this awesome month that they've had. Just unprecedented success like that. Just congrats to them. And man, Tyler, take it away.
So a couple other comments too. They won at the event that they didn't win chairman's at. They won excellence in engineering at both the other 2 events, which to me is like the best robot award essentially, right? So definitely getting great recognition. And by the way, side note, awards are going to be one of the 2 topics we're talking about on Fight After Dark tonight, because of the whole you can only win 1 award thing. But 2041. Pink arm, sword drive, awesome auto, keeps getting more and more refined. Pairing up with a great local Wisconsin team that was on the top 25. The last event they won, 1259. Paradigm Shift, who's having a huge breakout year. That might be another snub. Honestly, not a very well-known team if you're not from Wisconsin, but a team that has built a total BSH robot this year. But their performances have just been lights out fantastic. Great team, and they're just going to kick a lot of ass come championships.
49-1, unbelievable.
Isn't that nuts? And I know the one they lost was at Central Illinois. I don't remember what the circumstances to that were off the top of my head. Oh yeah, like it was a super low. It was their last match. It was super low scoring, 174 to 144. So something had to be wrong.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's like that's as many matches as a district team. Brick Shithouse. That's what BSH stands for.
All right.
That's a good transition.
That's a great transition.
Moving on to our 6th ranked team. That's going to be Team 987.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, Cimarron Memorial High School is the Hall of Fame High Rollers. 22-10 overall were the winners of the Las Vegas Regional. So after a semifinal performance out of the gate at Arizona North, 987 ranked 6th in Vegas and were picked up by the number 2 Alliance, led by 842, and that Alliance went on to win. So I still don't think we've seen the ceiling from for 987. And we talked to their drive coach at the top of the show. The robot certainly is still, while looking good, I don't think that they kind of have the same smoothness and execution that I think we're used to and they're used to from 987. But that being said, even so, the robot is absolutely fantastic. I like it because the design's a little bit different than most of the robots we've seen for this game. And it's just, again, an unfortunate situation with the championships that I won't be able to get an up-close look at it. So the only solution here is we need
Las
more
Vegas
teams.
next year. Oh,
that's even better. But no, more teams need to post those high-res pictures like 254 does. Like you can zoom right in. I can really study and look at the robot. So more high-res pictures. But anyway, awesome job to 97 and good luck at South Champs.
Or just send us out. We'll do kind of behind the bumpers and then just put out all these.
True.
Put all these content for people. We could do a little tour. Do Vegas. Texas, California.
So we'll do the fun road trip.
Yeah.
So we
next
actually.
year.
So our school district is looking at doing a feasibility study about putting some sort of STEM center on our building for our robotics team and some other things that are going on in our district. So we try to get our school board to send us out to Vegas for to kind of visit, because they recently got a renovated area, a really nice facility, but they wouldn't let us go. But we tried. We tried.
Some reconnaissance. Yeah. Cool. So that's this brings us kind of our break here. And I think we got some stuff to give away, huh, Tyler?
That is so true. We do have the Bat to give away from the Fixed Gears. We can throw that up on the screen so we can take a look at that one more time. And we have Christine's drawing to give away as well, too, which Christine looks done with, and I think she's already moved on to her next project. But what are you working on there, Christine?
New England District Champs logo that
I'm
trying to finish by the end
all
of
right,
this week.
all right. But can we get a closer look at the team 341? Yes, right. I'm like,
think of it.
Oh no, I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look on our Skype chat screen. I'm like, crap, who was that? So that's one of the giveaways. Also the Bathawks as well. So if you're interested right now, guys, you need to either subscribe. Like we just got there from J.I. Brill OSU. Thank you very much for your subscription. Either subscribe or make sure you at least follow us, guys, so you can keep track of what's going on with First Updates Now. Subscribers are going to get 5 times luck to win. And here's what you got to do. Once Tyler actually, brings up the giveaways tab on Nightbot so we can actually do the giveaway. I'm so prepared today. that red-eye flight just kicked my butt.
I bet.
So with that said, Justin, we got a great keyword for you that's actually meant for you, apparently, from our friends at Fixed Gear. The keyword is going to be dead air. Dead air. One word. DADAIR. One word. So go ahead. We'll give that away. We'll give away both of these to 2 lucky winners after our top 5. Oh, by the way, and I just saw a message from somebody about this. We are going to be looking for some other giveaways in the future too. So if you have a team T-shirt or anything like that, we would love to take that for future competitions. Just drop me a message on Facebook, Discord, email, whatever works best for you. We'd love to help promote your team and also give a cool giveaway as well. So with that said, let's roll in the top 5.
Sorry, I'm busy spinning the chat. I gotta win something one of these days.
You're not gonna win.
Never.
Hey, don't say that. Mike even has a use for them.
I will give them out to people that I love.
All right,
namely me.
Namely Justin. Alrighty, moving into the top 5.
It's a Mike team, so we're going back to Canada. To talk about 2056.
From Stony Creek, Ontario, Canada, and Orchard Park Secondary School, it's OP Robotics. An overall record of 15-3, and they were the finalists at the Waterloo District event. So the date is circled on many people's calendars to when 2056 is competing for the first time every year. We never ever get a glimpse of their robot before an event, and it's kind of always a blast to watch them, watching the feed and just seeing the practice matches and see them out there. 2056 is good this year as they are every year, playing this game so well, just efficient, just at whatever they do. They have a great and effective buddy lift as well. They would take the number 1 seed this past weekend at the Waterloo event. They would take 2041 and 47-77 to their alliance. 4 wins in qualifications and semifinals combined. They would have take those 2 losses there in the finals. These finals are how this game should be played, just kind of that back and forth, a somewhat close score, even though it's still like 80-100 is considered a close match sometimes. It's just so great to watch this game played at a high level, and kind of a match that keeps your attention for sure. So congrats to OP Robotics. I know it's obviously not the result they wanted. Just because their streak is over doesn't mean they don't want to go out there and win just as bad, and give everything they got. So again, just an awesome robot for 2056. Congrats and good luck the rest of the way.
Yep.
We'll see them again next we just talked about it next at the McMaster event.
That's just gonna be a ridiculous event. That's gonna be so. Yeah. Oh my God! Make sure you guys watch that week 6.
When I was watching those finals matches, it was just like, this game is so interesting to me, where you can have so many cubes scored, right? I'm just so used to seeing points based on like robots completing tasks. And this year, if you're behind in the scale, you can place as many, -1 cube than the other alliance, and you don't get a single point for it. Yep. So it's just really interesting. It's cool. It's nice to see something a little bit different, especially those of us who've been doing this for so long.
Sweet. You don't have a flight to catch, Nick. What are you talking about? So that was our 5th ranked team. And our 4th ranked team is going to be 1678.
From Davis, California. Davis Senior High School with the Citrus Circuits, 28-1 overall. And we're the winners of the Utah and Sacramento regionals. So we talk a lot about how hard it is during random qualification matches to really exceed and excel. And that's exactly what 1678 did this past weekend in Sacramento. To be frank, none of their qualification matches were even close. We were talking about the elimination matches at Sacramento. 1678 was over 400 points in all their call matches except one, and kept alliances under 200 points in all their matches but 2, and twice under 100 points. So not only were the Sacramento elimination matches not very close, the 1678 qualification matches weren't that close either. So just a dominating performance on the field, and they were rewarded as well for their off-the-field efforts, picking up their Chairman's Award, their first ever Chairman's Award. So that double gold cling bling is just so well deserved for them. Great season so far, and you can catch them again at the Central Valley Regional next week.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be great. Congrats to 1678. There was just a side plug. We the Canley speaking before the show that'll be up on should be up now on video on demand and up tomorrow on YouTube. We talked about kind of a Chairman's Award a little bit. So congrats to them on their first ever, man. It's just great to see these teams that are so successful robots just be so successful in all aspects of first as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can't believe that's their first ever.
I know, right? And that first Chairman's Award is special. I mean, I vividly remember the first time we won on 340 in 2005, and then I was able to experience another first-time Chairman's Award win with 3015 in 2016. So it's really great for them. That's a cool experience for their kids, and super well deserved. They do so much.
So, guys, should we go up a creek now to check out the third one?
You're really proud of that one.
That was horrible.
Nope, that turned out bad, by the way. That sounded good in my head. And then just
really
like,
want to grab a paddle.
Like I started saying, I'm like, no, I got to stop.
No, you should have said that. You want to grab a paddle for our next one?
Yeah.
Upper creek without a paddle.
Paddle over to the number 3
God,
spot.
I hate puns too with judges and stuff, so I don't even know why the hell I did it.
Don't go to that ballpark, man.
Well, we've gone past puns at FLR. Now it's just poems. It's interesting.
It's always
anyway.
puns.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Thanks, Sky. I appreciate it.
All right, that was a good segue into this team.
No, it wasn't. Don't lie.
Terrible. All right. Anyway, in the 3rd spot, Team 1619.
From Longmont, Colorado, it's Upper Creek Robotics. They have an overall record of 29-5. They were the winners of the Hub City Regional. So 16-1, double gold cling bling, dominating performance at their first event. The Hub City Regional led up to this awesome Colorado event that we all were talking about and watching this past weekend. Finishing first with a ranking score average of 3.36. Quite the decision to make there between all the great robots, specifically 148 and 118. Taking 148 and 54-14 for the Alliance, they would head into the playoffs. Making quick and easy work in the quarterfinals and the semis, they would face the number 2 seed in the finals. 1619 has a really wide grabber and a really cool, unique delivery of the cube to the scale. In the finals, we saw an awesome pair of matches, but 1619 would take 2 straight losses there in the finals. They still have one more regional play before champs, so good luck to them. Just a very, very cool robot that they got. They're just playing the game, obviously, at such a high level for being here at number 3. So I kind of just mentioned those 2 teams, 148 and 118, that were also at that event. So
can I mention real quick? There was I don't know if you saw this, Mike. There was 1 vote essentially that separated these 2 teams.
The next 2 teams?
Yep, for who took first and second. It was one vote worth. I don't think we've ever had it that close before.
Yeah, that close. Usually it's usually it's pretty,
especially with 450 submissions.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Nice.
That's wild. So with that,
they out here saying every vote counts.
It's true. So all that drama is in the 2 spot. Are we ready to go for it?
Yeah, let's go.
So our second ranked team will be team 118.
From League City, Texas, Clear Creek High School, it's the Robonauts. 30-3 overall were the winners, the Dallas and Colorado regionals. So 118 has brought their robot Ruckus to the field twice and left with the blue banner both times. Their creative machine,
Apparently
the robot Illusion.
Sorry, I
Ruckus.
said delusion.
Delusion. The robot Illusion. Sorry, Ruckus was last year. Thanks, Nick. I got it. Their creative machine with their high pivot arm allows for smooth, accurate cue placement, which honestly has won them more than one of their matches. You know, they were certainly playing against teams with faster elevators to the scale play, but not as smooth with their placement as 118 is. So their buddy left is solid. Watching what they do at the Lone Star Regional will certainly be a preview of the highest level of play at the championship event. So they've showed us a ton so far, and we've cheered them on each and every time. So congrats to 118, the Robonauts.
Awesome.
Illusion.
Did Nick change it on you, or did you mess up?
No, he was right to correct me, but just I was right in the middle of it. I was like, where was that?
I thought Nick actually went in the show doc and changed it on you just to mess you up.
No, that's what it says, and I was stupid. That's what it says on the Blue Lions page. But I should have known.
All right, number one, and then we're doing the giveaways, guys.
All right. Wow, we're going to wrap up just about the same time as last week. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. In that top spot is team number 148.
From Greenville, Texas, and Greenville High School, it's the Robo Wranglers. An overall record of 29-3. They were the winners at the Dallas Regional. So taking their win at their first event, the Robo Wranglers were part of that Texan invasion there at the Colorado Regional this past weekend. They had a ranking score average of 3.18. They would be selected first overall. They would meet the number 2 alliance in the finals. And with an amazing set of matches, 148 would lose both of those, taking home that silver medal. But just an absolutely unreal back and forth of the scale there. Awesome, just awesome matches. Excuse me. So 148 just has a really quick, fast machine that can just navigate the field really well and just deliver cubes up high quickly and easily. And they have that great buddy climber as well. So they'll be headed to Houston to compete at their worth of the half champs. Good luck to them. And any other further thoughts from you guys on 148?
Well, I just thought that, I think there's very few things in FRC year after year that are truly like revolutionary and different. That robot wrangler buddy climber is just going to go down in FRC history as one of the craziest but coolest things I have ever seen.
You're right.
So it works, man.
Especially because there's so much skepticism around it too, right? Unless you're our producer Nick in the background, who's the whole time telling us like, no, it works, guys. Physics works.
Physics works.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
So,
that should be the name of the show.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I mean, I think you can always jostle some of the numbers around on who should be first or second or third. I actually think this is one of the most complete FRC top 25 lists we've ever had. And there's, of course, we mentioned a couple snubs of teams, and there's always going to be teams who don't make it. But I actually felt this was a very complete list. So kudos to you guys voting.
Yeah.
And I think the more votes we get, the more that's going to start even that out, guys. So as we start to grow more and more, keep encouraging more people to vote. And awesome job, everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So week 4 in the books.
Week 4 in the books.
There's some cool stuff to give away. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the giveaway. So the first one we're going to do is for Christine's drawing. So, which is on the screen. You can see that. She's going to ship that out to you. Apparently with some other cool swag too. So we thank Christine, and make sure you check out Wordplay All Day. And if we get a mod for a Wordplay All Day link.
There it is.
Appreciate it. So with that
follow
said,
her on all the social media as well. She can
for sure
up to dates on the project she's doing and stuff.
So with that said, the person who has won this, just the Blame Team, congratulations. Following since March 13th this year, has won Christine Singh. So you need to either shoot me a PM on here or on Discord or Facebook. You need to reach out to me so we can get that out to you guys. So if you won something before and you didn't reach out to me, that's your own fault. You have to reach out to me for this. So just saying. So congratulations for that. And for the Bathhawks, congratulations to P-Rate. P-Rate. There you go. Subscriber. That's how it's done. You get a better chance to win, and you get yourself a set of Bathhawks. So make sure you reach out to me for that as well. I also want to give a shout out to our number 1 bits leader right now, Robo Greg. Thanks a lot for those bits yesterday. Sorry, I was about to head off for a flight.
Yeah, so we were watching region recaps, and he just came in as a high roller and
just bam like that, right? So So thank you very much to everybody who's doing bits and subs so we can just keep producing great content. Everything we do, we reinvest back in the fund right now, guys. That's really the truth. I wish we could get paid a lot of money to do this, but we just put it right back. I know, right? But we just put it back in the program to hopefully keep creating better content for you.
For sure. So that's both of our giveaways, correct?
Yep.
So that's a wrap for FRCTop25 for week 4. And like Howard mentioned, great job, everyone. The votes are fantastic. Remember that voting will open again for next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, and run through Monday. Is that just 2 days to vote?
1 day, 24 hours.
Yeah, that's 450 votes in 24 hours is nuts. So through the following or that next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you get others to vote. Check both our website and Chief Delphi for teams who are a little bit further down the list. I think we've been posting the top 40 or so.
All right. So guys, week 5 is ahead of us. Any events that kind of look exciting to you? I'm just going to quickly go down if anybody's got one.
Just like from a local standpoint, Buckeye is this weekend. There's a lot of teams that we saw at Finger Lakes that I'm interested to see how they do at Buckeye, and our friends on 1507 will be down there, so we'll be cheering them on.
Side note, if you guys want, I need your mailing info because that's how we ship things to you. So please shoot me your mailing info since I just saw a message that I can't respond to right now. So I'm not sure Christine is actually here right now. Are you, Christine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are you looking forward to in week 5?
I'm interested to see the UNH district in New England. There's going to be a lot of teams that haven't played since about week 1, so it should be interesting to see how they do. And I'll be watching from the comfort of my couch for once, so I'm excited.
Enjoy that.
Very cool. 2 things for me. One, Fun will be hosting the Idaho Regional this weekend. So if you want to check out cool teams like Team Taters, and I know there's a couple, some going to the Blue Lions, MVRT, Up a Creek Robotics is going to be at that. Skunk Work is going to be at that. So a lot of good teams at this event, but fun. We're not flying there. We're just giving them our stream key so they can host it. So make sure you go and check that one out because it's going to be awesome. And we appreciate your support for that as well. Another side note too, guys, we do have Snapchat. So make sure you add us on First Updates Now for Snapchat, as we have all of our hosts, all the ones from Region Recaps are taking assignments each week to snap from their events. So if you want to check out FRC events around the world, add First Updates Now on Snapchat.
Perfect. And kind of the easy one to go for is the Silicon Valley Regional. We're going to see 254. We'll see Quicksilver. Haven't talked about them this year yet. The Funky Monkeys, 971, 973. Also got the Space Cookies. Thunder Down Under will be there as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, so that'll be a good one. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you everybody who has watched tonight. If you want more First Robotics in your life and you like what we do, hey, just let us know about what's going on so we can get more and more people watching. Great viewership tonight, guys. We really appreciate it. If you got the few bucks to give to help support us, we sincerely appreciate it. Like I said, we reinvest everything back into the program right now. Hopefully one day we'll pay ourselves, but right now we just want to keep growing this more and more. So let people know they can come here for more FRC in their lives. And you can also subscribe for free through Twitch Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, if your parents have Amazon Prime, you get a free Prime credit. All you got to do is link your account for that. If you can't, we understand. We'd love to have you on board, but we also appreciate your support. On behalf of myself, Mike, Justin, Christine, our producer behind the scenes, Nick, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. And thank you to all of our moderators in chat. Thanks for Steven for checking in with us earlier in the show. Tell us about 987 and their coaching strategy. If you're watching live, stay on for Fun After Dark. If you are not in our Discord, which I'm going to put in right now, we will be taking a few callers for a couple interesting show topics, which will include awards in first and why teams are only allowed to win one, and the disappointment they get when they win that award that they know they didn't win chairman's. Crap, Nick, what was the other topic we were going to be talking about? I'll look it up. We literally don't script anything on After Dark, so it's whatever we typed in the chat somewhere. So we'll get that in a little bit, but that will come up in just a couple of minutes. With that said, thank you everybody for watching. Hey guys, we'll talk to you next week on First Updates Now. Check out the Idaho Regional. Talk to you then.